Good morning.
Hello, hello. I have my, you know what my outfit is right here?
I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I
Well,
sleep all night and I work all day.
it is that, and it's also half Santa's elf.
Oh, you're Santa's elf?
An elf. I'm trying to get into the spirit of things. Mark has the hat on. He's got he's rocking. Uh, I don't even see you, Alicia.
I am not presentable.
You are hiding. You are
I'm
hiding in
hiding.
Missouri.
I'm actually in Dallas.
Oh, you're back in Dallas?
Yeah.
Dude, I can't keep track of you. By the way, anybody that's wanted to know, I'm pretty tall for an elf. Yeah, there's nothing like a 6'3" elf. And my chickens survived the 3-degree temperature last night. Although I have to admit, I was up at first light to make sure they were still alive.
Oh, Scott talked about his friend having chickens growing up. They would lose their feet and their legs would just be little stubs.
So they're not leaving. They haven't left their coop today. So I might put some kind of warm thing in there for them, just from a guilt point of view.
It's amazing they survived that.
Mountain Climber said, do you heat your coop? Mine got a little frostbite. We don't. Nobody in Maine, nobody that I know that raises chickens in Maine heats their coop.
Well, it's almost unnatural, right?
Yes. Did the wolves survive last night? Yeah, I'm sure they did. Yes. Anyway, so for people that are worried, because I know some of my students, the first thing they're going to ask is, how are the chickens? So,
how fun.
I'm happy that you're safely back in Dallas, Alicia.
I'm heading to Arkansas on Saturday, so we'll see you next week from Arkansas.
Oh my gosh. So we had some news today.
Yeah.
Surf Dancing Hogan says chickens have been around a lot longer than heaters.
Right, exactly. Good point.
I actually have heat, and I'm trying to grow peppers in my office. So anyway.
Peppers in the winter?
Well, my wife doesn't like houseplants, so I have a pepper plant now in my office.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll see. I just have to try to not kill it. I do have a chilly office, Jose. Hopefully aren't we meeting with Option Pit our students sometime coming up, Alicia?
You mean for our Christmas thing, or
not for a Christmas party, but for like Vaz's event?
Oh, you mean live?
Live.
I'm not even sure. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I think we might have. So everybody look for those announcements coming for a lot of you that want to hang out for a while and have a couple of frosty beverages and a couple of tacos, maybe in Florida. We'll see. But anyway,
that will be fun.
Should we talk about markets? Sorry, I derailed us.
Well, that's okay. It's Friday.
Hey, it's Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. And we have some data.
Yeah, PCE.
We do have some data, and I'm gonna say, if Mark was here, would he say Goldilocks data?
I would say that they like it so far. It is their most important number that they look at, that the Fed looks at.
Right. And it's, and I don't know, is anybody, they're talking about like prices being higher, lower. I don't think prices are necessarily lower, but I think gas prices are lower. Food prices seem to be, I don't know, about the same. Rents are coming down. House prices in Maine are coming down a little bit.
Are they?
I think.
I'm spoiled. Scott always fills the car.
It's a man's job. Sorry, I had to say it because my daughter, I'm teaching my daughter how to drive. She's like, why do I have to do that? Like, that's an answer. So anyway, There you go. There's your dose of homeschooling reality. My daughter's like, no, I don't
Oh,
do that. I don't do that.
I'm okay
Anyway,
with that.
it's okay. But we make her take out the trash, so it all evens out.
Another man's job.
She does say that, but I go tough. You can bring in the coal and you can take out the trash. Get with it.
So let's take a look at this PCE. They like this number as their go-to, the core PCE. We're not anywhere near that 2% though that they talk about. It's amazing that they don't seem to.
They don't
themselves.
seem to care. Like, and I don't see how you get to 2%, Leisha, until Uncle Sam stops spending, just gets back to what they used to spend in 2019, right? Before the whole COVID thing, when, they started drinking the Kool-Aid. But what do you think, looking at, so what is have the odds changed at all?
They're pretty much unchanged. 88.2, 87.2.
Yeah, pretty.
And the day before they were 90, I believe, though. So maybe a little, but nothing they're still very high.
So those are good. And of course, when we talk about, trade around this, what we can expect, right? So you would think that this would strengthen the case somewhat. And it's also maybe Lisa talk a little bit about, like, that phrase, buy the rumor, sell the news.
Yes.
Especially for PC for this number, right? So everybody's like, okay, what's it going to be? Now you have the number. It's out.
Yep.
And when you hear like mainstream media, inflation, Trump is doing like, one side will always trumpet the bad stuff. The other side will always trumpet the other stuff. And so, but right now, from a data point of view, I think the data doesn't look bad. So it looks okay.
It's okay, but it's still not within their guidelines for lowering rates.
Right.
I mean,
do you feel
they want to be real about it? They shouldn't be doing anything.
Do you feel that they are trying to get ahead of the employment thing a little bit by lowering rates? Like, because they were way too late on raising rates when things were getting, do you think they want to not be late again?
Well, the figures Wednesday and Thursday came on employment came in favorably.
Oh, did they? I thought they were still, the employment picture looked kind of poor, but let me scroll up a little bit.
The initial jobless claims were the least amount they'd been since, I think I read 22.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
22.
Okay. I don't know why they didn't update. They didn't update Bloomberg here for Thursday. So I don't know why Bloomberg was doing
yesterday. Jobless claims, they were looking for 218 and they came in at 191.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. So all of that better data.
Yeah.
ADP is still, and I wonder, of course, I wish I had Hans around too. Not that you're not great. But what the ADP number actually came out as, and if it's like AI related, or this is what, and I have to say, like my dad worked in like Hewlett Packard in the 90s and 2000s, right? And like the company's doing great, growing. And what would they do? They would have a round of layoffs every time they've had huge growth.
Yeah.
They would start to, it is that has happened with big companies since the beginning of time. So there's been quite a bit of big tech job cuts, but everybody's saying it's because of AI. I don't know if it's necessarily because of AI. Like at Option Pit, we've added people with it.
I know. Right?
We have less people, right? Trying to make heads or tails of everything.
We are growing here.
The White House still needs more gold trim and can't cut that cash.
That's funny. They do love the gold, the Trumps.
And Andrew asked me, does your wifey cook? Yes, she definitely cooks. She's a pretty phenomenal cook, to be quite honest.
I was spoiled there too. Scott's the cook in our house.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You do what
I'm
you
spoiled.
do. You make the house look really nice looking, though, Alicia.
I do. I do.
You do. It is quite a, when you go into Alicia's house, it was almost like I didn't want to put my coffee cup down because everything is perfect. It is so perfect.
Doesn't that seem like a long
appointed? Yes, yes.
That kind of seems like a long time ago where you and Mark and I were there.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah. So anyway, overall though, I have to say if we're leaning bearish, bullish, this is a more bullish number for stocks and for the day.
Yeah, look at this. Look at the market climb here. I have some resistance, folks, coming up here. 68.98.24 was going to be some resistance. But if you look at my, well, let's look at the three things that will be most affected. So the overall futures, they are popping over my line of resistance, which is those little highs here on November 12th and 13th.
Yeah. Now, what do you mean by line of resistance, Alicia, for people that are not as chart or like me that are just terrible chart readers?
When you see previous highs or lows, those are points of support or resistance. In this case, we couldn't break above this level back on, let's see, was 3 days, November 11th, 12th, 13. We rolled over at this level last time we were here. So that's a resistance level. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days here, we've been consolidating, trying to break out over that level, which coincides nicely with my median line resistance. Today, they love the number. We're popping. We're popping over. I say we rally into Wednesday. We retest our previous highs. But now going back, this was the actual day they cut in October was the high, our all-time high. And then look at that sell-off after that.
Right.
So
yeah, that was,
I think we see the same thing. Buy the rumor, just like here in October, buy the rumor, sell the news.
Now, from a date point of view, Alicia, was the rate cut. So that was October. That was the high.
Yeah.
And then we kind of the plunge for the reality of the shutdown, right? And by the way, I'm just asking the room a question. Sure. Did anybody notice the government shutdown? I don't know, unless you're, of course, a government worker. But like, I mean, I've been living in the middle of nowhere. So, Jerry, I think it affected his business directly. Besides Jerry, anybody else? When did it get shut down?
Yeah, everyone's in a good mood here because it's Friday.
It is. It's Friday. Yeah, the traffic was great, said Rawhide. He must live in Washington, D.C.
Oh, funny.
Palantir is over 180.
Ooh.
I even visited an IRS office.
You know, it was bad for those federal employees that did not get paid, but yeah, Congress got paid. That's
like,
yes.
Somehow they don't do their job, they get paid. Somehow they can basically swindle stock trading, they get paid.
Yeah.
And
yep, that's not right. And I think every American would agree with that.
You never thought, I guess when the founding fathers set it up, that Congress would be a problem, but I feel like they are definitely part of the problem now.
It wasn't meant to be a lifetime career.
No.
They wanted everyone to take their turn, and the average, person. So you have a variety of people in there representing the people. Wasn't meant to be a lifetime career.
Yeah. Now we got 90-year-old senators. I don't see, they've been in for 50. So I don't see how that helps us, but
yeah.
So besides our soapbox, which again, if Congress just said they're going to cut $1 trillion in spending in real money. Now, while that would be negative for GDP in the short term, I think that would be the biggest confidence boost. You remember when the stocks were just flying, under Doge, and everybody had there was the happy dance. And I have to admit, I drank the Kool-Aid. I drank the Doge Kool-Aid. It did affect how I traded my products to some degree. So I'm like, wow, Elon Musk is going to go fix things.
Well, we had hope, right? We
Yep.
had hope that the spending would stop.
Yep. And that's the problem. Hope is a bad 4-letter word for trading.
It sure is.
Hope,
It sure
need,
is.
wish, want. I don't like it. Those words. If you have to say any of those when you got your trade on, your only refuge is position sizing. That's your only refuge. When you're like, I really hope this stock goes up, just be glad the position's not too big.
Yes.
Right? Position sizing is ultimately your best defense.
Or no position is a position. Always remember that.
Yeah, you could always do something tomorrow.
Yes. There's always opportunity.
So from a story point of view, I think this is pretty positive. Don't forget lovely Faith. Mall products they're a little softer here. Good. They're not cream puffy soft, but they are
share your screen looking at that?
Huh?
Do you want to share your screen looking at that?
Oh, you know what, Alicia, can you just pull up a chart of VXX just for people to see?
I would also like to look at the dollar and bonds, but yes, here's the bond.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that. But this could set up a trade for us. Of course, in my pro class yesterday, I tried to buy some puts in VXX, and I had to pick, the day, of course, that they were impossible. They would not. So a good thing too for people in here, when you're trying to buy something midpoint and you're not getting filled at all, okay, that's going to be the direction the market's going for that product. So if you're trying to buy VXX puts and you're midpoint, okay, or you even force the bid somewhat, meaning you go above, the midpoint is between the bid and the offer. And if you put your trade in the middle as a limit, and you're like, okay, I should get filled here, everybody's worried, and you're not getting filled, whatever direction that is, that's the direction. So I had a feeling yesterday that VXX would be going down because the liquidity provider was not interested in filling at even taking a nickel or a dime to their advantage. So like, screw it, we'll just sell it to him 50 cents more tomorrow, which is kind of what it's looking like, to be honest.
Right. On top of that, Andrew, I would just remind people, when you are entering an order or exiting, look at the size of your bid, the size of your offer, and look at the last price it's traded. The last price traded gives you an idea if there's buying or selling out there, if it's closer to the bid or closer to the offer. Don't run in and hit the bid or the offer immediately. Try to work it.
Right. And most, and most platforms have real-time information. Have data like time and sales information. So again, it's like one of those things. If you want to trade or trade for yourself, being as aware as you can of the market conditions is a big help. You know what? Howard M just said, "Hey, Andrew and Alicia, thanks for working hard for working for us this year." And Howard owes me a couple of beers.
Well, we met Howard in Chicago last time.
I know, and I won the bet because I wore my flannel in the middle of summer in Chicago, and I don't think he could believe it.
You're never hot there in Maine.
It's never really hot. Well, like a week. We have a week. Does the market maker always screw you?
No. They're protecting their own. They're trying to make the most money they possibly can. Yep. So in effect, that is not to your advantage.
Right. We'll put it this way. Does everybody understand that liquidity that you trade has to come from some other place?
Right.
So it is all coming from, their account. It's not, the exchanges do not provide liquidity. the only thing an exchange provides is essentially now at this point just a big high-speed trading infrastructure that you connect to.
Right.
In the old days, they provided a floor where people could all phone into one place. That's what made an exchange. When Leisha and I were trading more actively, we still had paper tickets for a long time. Our first decade trading, basically.
Andrew, it does kind of still blow my mind that we were liquidity provider. I mean, literally with our own money, we were trading with Goldman and Morgan, and it still kind of blows my mind that we were relied upon for markets. It's pretty wild.
Right. Well, and you learn that like where liquidity feels like it is. And right now, like if you're trading in a pit, so this is kind of a thing. Like, so this is a Friday afternoon. Okay, Leisha. So I want you to go back in time. Okay. You've got a great pair of shoes on. You're hanging out in the crowd. It's, a couple of weeks till Christmas. It's Friday. A number just came out. The market's up 0.5%, and you can feel the volatility kind of melting, right?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Seeping out. The options just melting.
Right. Option prices are compressing. Yeah. And how loud was the floor?
Gosh. Like it was silent going into the holiday. A lot of times people were all hungover from all the Christmas parties.
Yeah, endless Christmas parties. A question, Leisha, did you know AG and Mark when you worked at Pitt? So Leisha was on the other side of the floor from me.
Yeah.
And there was 2,000 market makers at that time?
Well, yeah. Yeah,
it was pretty large. Mark was just a little punk kid in Chicago.
Yeah, Mark
at Villanova back then.
Mark actually started after I left. So
yeah. He was just a twinkle in the trading eye in those days. Lisa just looks very good, but she was trading in the 80s, right? Like late 80s. Right?
Well, I was off the screens. I was in the late.
Yeah.
But I went on a seat in the Citigroup crowd in '92.
Okay. So Lisa has been trading for a little 30 something. That's all I'm saying. Nothing else. Just trading long enough. I did do construction work in New York City. It was awesome. Actually, it was all over the country, but I lived in Manhattan for 3 months doing construction. I drove the truck. I can believe that. I had 2 guys on my team, and they were afraid to drive the truck in Manhattan, so I drove it. I would let you drive the truck too. We had tool belts and work boots, and we literally had the drill that drilled into the concrete. Dude, that's big stuff. It was so fun. Andrew, we're not really talking a lot about stuff here. Oh, today. Okay. So basically our view though, okay, if we have a little view going into, right? So today is again another day of news. And again, next week, there's going to be some probably expectation into the FOMC. Yes. Right? It looks, the PCE now, the market is at least saying like, hey, they're probably going to cut rates. That's what I guess at this point. Well, take a look at bonds though, Andrew, real quick. Let's talk about bonds, right? Okay. The inverse relationship of bonds the rate. The bonds rallied into the decision last time also in October. Here was the decision, rally into the rumor, sell the news. We're not getting it this time. We began to rally here November 26th. We topped out. Now we are testing the 200-day moving average here today. In fact, I'm going to remove that. We start to trade below there. It's the bond, as they call them, the bond vigilantes, saying, we shouldn't be lowering rates here, right? They are doing the opposite. A fly in the ointment. Yes, and if, like I said, we got to keep our eye on the bonds here. If we start breaking below the 200-day, it's a sign to the Fed that they probably should not do anything. Right, or that'll be the last rate cut for the foreseeable future. Yes.
But it's interesting, the market's doing what it did last time. Bonds are not.
Right.
Bonds were not following through. By
So
the
will
rumors tell the
PLT go
news.
up or down on the Fed rate cut? I have to say, like looking at the action right now, it doesn't look very positive.
No. No, when you see bonds doing the opposite of what the Fed wants to do, I think there's a disconnect there.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that too, because there was not great information coming out of like for the budget, the deficit, and all that, because Congress is still basically just recklessly spent. They don't even know what they're spending.
They're horrible. They don't even read it's just so sad.
Okay, we now have one other sleeper story.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So we have kind of what we think. I think, again, volatility, we still are talking about that meltdown. I think that still will continue up until Friday, and possibly it depends how the bond market. That could be really the only real, I would say, that would be the fly in the ointment. But Netflix is buying Warner Brothers, and the stock traded below 100 this morning and is now up.
Look at that reversal.
Yeah, quite a reversal. I think personally for Netflix, them buying a studio is bullish. Mark says it's a defensive play because it's keeping the other, like Comcast wanted to buy them. It's keeping alternative streaming venues from getting the library. Well, here, and then W is saying, why are both Netflix is not down. Now, here's what I think for Paramount. Do you know that Paramount and Netflix, well, for Paramount, I think it would have given them a competitive advantage to have that to have both studios.
For Paramount too?
I think for Paramount, though, it's interesting is, and this could end up being a special situation for us, but Paramount has the same revenues as Warner Brothers does. And Warner Brothers is trading for 3 times the price or 4 times the price. Now, I know Paramount has a fair amount of debt, but so does Warner Brothers.
Oh, wow.
Interesting how this is all playing out. I think Paramount's probably I've been selling puts in this for a while. So
nice.
The stock just stays around like between $13 and $16. It's like a perfect put selling stock. So,
wait, am I looking at the wrong Paramount?
Oh, you want Peace Guy.
Oh, hello.
Jerry's saying Warner Brothers has the better film library rights. I thought I heard Warner Brothers was splitting. Netflix gets the WB stuff. Peace Guy gets the Discovery. I am not sure, Vicky. We thought that Warner Brothers won the bid this morning, but I could be wrong on that. That's the news we saw this morning. I thought we saw that Netflix actually won the deal, but that's what we saw. But from a straight deal point of view, I think it's better I think Paramount would look undervalued at this point, in my view.
Yeah. Well, watch it. Look at how well my Pitchfork lines up support with the 200-day. You could get a bounce there.
Okay. I would like to see it. I sold the 15 puts for like 80 cents. So.
Oh, nice.
Well, it looked really good yesterday, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you're a little underwater here. Not bad, though.
It's all right. Not terrible.
No.
I just do the same thing. I take the stock and I wheel it. So taking that, when you do a wheel trade, is just you sell a put, take delivery of the stock, and you sell 15 call or 17 call. Again, my goal is try to do 4% a month for a stock on a wheel trade. And, that's it. All right. Hey, so our time has flown. Besides talking about old trading floor days, which today kind of feels like. And what's going on with the Fed into, like, the bonds are acting a little weaker than we would like.
Yes, but
Given
the
that,
overall
that could be a problem. And
overall market looks so bullish, though.
yeah, well, I think the thing, underlying earnings have been huge. The biggest Friday decision, Series or Cactus.
Who said that? That's hilarious.
Swill 711.
Oh, Swain. That's my buddy Swain.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
so
anybody,
true.
yes, anybody that lives in Chicago for those 3 decades.
That's so funny, Swain. Oh my God, the margaritas at Cactus were so strong.
Yeah, they were.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, the
So
Cactus.
I like
no
the
more.
Qs, guys. I do like the Qs revisiting the previous high 637. I think you have room higher on the Qs.
And I don't see how we don't kind of see 6,900 today, but that would be my guess for the day. And again, Paramount could be an interesting trade deal here, just on value with the Netflix. But it looks like Netflix is getting a good chunk of what it wanted. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, SoFi, I think SoFi is doing a rights offering or stock offering. So there's some dilution. So probably good. Again, another good reason to sell some puts maybe on a bounce. But, dilutions get people. Real inflation is 3.5%. Market reality fantasy is 2% Fed.
I believe it.
I
believe it.
Until Congress can. So I don't even know what to do. Nobody to vote for anymore.
Even if
nobody does what they say.
Even if it's 3%, they think, 2 to 3%. That's 50% higher. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Talk about a squishy target.
Yeah. Okay, Andrew. I think we need to.
I think we need to go. You got our so anyway, kind of our roadmap for next week. Potential trade out of Paramount. And Will says if Q hits 637, I would be very happy.
Yeah.
I think everybody's portfolios would look happy. Ultimately, hey, stock's going up. Don't complain.
Right.
When stocks go down, you have to be ready to buy them. But when they're going up, whatever.
Yeah. And Qs use it close below today's low and then use a trailing stop as it rallies. But yeah, here's a great price target for next week.
637.
Yep.
Wow, that's $8 above where we are. That's kind of enticing. You know what? It's only 1.25%.
We're up already almost 6 right now.
Yeah. So it won't take very much.
Nope.
All right, everybody. Hey, have a good, thank you for everybody that purchased stuff from our Black Friday.
Yep. Welcome all the new members.
You will see more from us very soon toward the end of the year. We got more goodies coming out. People in my Flash 7, my AI scanner is almost done. And so Flash 7 people will see that this afternoon, or just the preview of kind of how it's rolling.
That's exciting.
And Flash 7 this afternoon at 1:00 for
Very
all you
fun,
Flash
Andrew.
7 people. All right.
Very cool.
And you guys have an excellent day. Thank you for coming. And we'll be back next week.
Yes. Have a great weekend, everyone. Andrew, great. That was fun.
All right.